Standardizing the Start screen. In this section, I'll show you how to use group policy to deploy specific Start screen tile layouts to users, which is really another way of defining a portion of their user state. Now, some of the reasons we might want to do this are to achieve greater user interface consistency, which conveys the benefits of faster training, more concise documentation, and better tech support. It's always easier to troubleshoot a more standardized environment. We might also be able to achieve greater GUI clarity in the sense of less clutter in the user interface, better security, that is, fewer potentially dangerous things to click on, and faster navigation through the user interface. Well, in the past, Microsoft has provided quite a number of group policy settings for the Start menu. However, the company has given us far fewer settings for the Start screen that Windows 8 so famously introduced. Even so, the Start Layout policy setting is a powerful one. And that's the one we're going to implement now. The basic steps are pretty straightforward. First, create your desired tile layout. Then export that layout to XML with the help of PowerShell. Store that XML on a network share with the appropriate read permissions for your users. And then build a group policy object to actually force the deployment of that XML to everyone in the domain, OU, or site that you choose for the GPO's scope. Well, let's see how to do it. Well, we're looking at a domain-joined Windows 10 system with the tiles arranged as we want them. To save the layout as an XML file, I'll need to open a PowerShell window. And the command I'll need is export-start layout, and then I'll specify a path pointing to a server and share that I've already set up, my domain controller GMDC1, and a share named Win10 layout, and we'll call the file standardlayout.xml. Now I can open up File Explorer and navigate to that share. And we can take a look at the contents of standardlayout.xml. It's nice that I didn't have to create this file from scratch. PowerShell handles all the details for me. Next, we'll bounce over to a domain controller where we can open the Group Policy Management console from Server Manager. And I will create a new group policy object and link it to the domain globomantics.local. We'll call it Win10 layout. Then we'll edit that GPO. It will be a very simple GPO with only one setting in it. And we'll navigate to User Configuration, Policies, Administrative Templates, Start Menu and Taskbar, and Start Screen Layout. So I'll enable this policy, specify the location of the Start Layout file. And we're done configuring the GPO. And here I am back on my workstation after a restart to let the group policy object take effect. Let's take a look at the Start Screen layout. Same as before, however, notice that when I right-click a tile, I no longer have the ability to resize it or unpin it from the Start screen. If I try to drag and drop a tile, I'm not allowed to do so. I can highlight it, but I can't actually move any tile or change the groupings. This layout is now standardized and locked. So the key points with respect to enforcing a start screen layout: this feature is available in the Enterprise and Education editions only. We use PowerShell to create the XML file, group policy to deploy it. Users cannot change deployed layouts. And of course, you can make variations, for example, for different departments or different groups within your environment, and create different GPOs that you can then link to different OUs or different sites or even different domains. You can also go back, of course, and change the layout at any time using the same procedure that we just went through here. Well, that's it for this module. Next up, deploying Windows 10 Enterprise virtual machines with Hyper-V.